Tehseen joining us, and Raj Gopalan ji and NV Subhash continue to stay with us. Renu Mittal ji, today, what Milind also just said, if I can push that point a little further, there has been a lot of murmur about the fact whether Dr. Manmohan Singh was even politically that powerful. These are questions that the Congress might say that, don't ask us these questions today, but these are questions which are hard facts. On one side today, you have the Narendra Modi government, speaking about the legacy of Dr. Manmohan Singh, announcing the national mourning, the Prime Minister and everyone there as a part of his final journey there today paying tributes. But on the other side is this, perhaps some kind of a discomfort, Renuji, in the Congress party to talk about the many instances where perhaps they could have just ensured more respect and more humility towards Dr. Manmohan Singh. Do you agree?
No. I think that, we are people who have watched the entire tenure of Dr. Manmohan Singh. And I can tell you from somebody who saw what happened in those years, that he was a man who was greatly and highly regarded by the Gandhi family and by the Congress party. He became an icon. And it was, in fact, the other way around. It was the BJP which got the film made, the accidental prime minister. Then we had this quote from the prime minister saying that he's a man who goes into the shower with a raincoat. There were all kinds of derogatory memes about him, and there was all kinds of trolling around him, that he was a weak man who was in the clutches of Sonia Gandhi, etc., etc. But he was on himself. He was a strong man. He was a man who stood up for what he believed in.
Yes.
He was very, very clear he wanted the nuclear deal. He got it done. He was very clear that these are the reforms that he has to do. You know what happened when Narasimha Rao was the prime minister and he was a finance minister? I think Raja Gopalan will also know. There were about 40 MPs from Andhra. Every meeting they used to heckle Dr. Manmohan Singh and say because he was cutting food subsidy, fertilizer subsidy and everything. Because they said this is affecting the agrarian situation in Andhra, which is basically an agricultural state. And then Dr. P.V. Narasimha Rao would have to call these MPs for a meeting separately. And he would, tell them that, look, calm down. I'm not going to replace him. He's going to continue. And they were on the firing line day in and day out. So this went on. Dr. Manmohan Singh knew what he wanted. He stood his ground.
Renuji, the question is not about Dr. Manmohan Singh. So, I just want to make this very clear. He was a man on a mission. He was a man with a purpose. It's just about the way perhaps he was treated at times, Raj Gopalan ji.
No, I think I'd like to finish my point.
Raj Gopalan ji.
Renu Mittal was absolutely right in certain spectrum, but my understanding of Dr. Manmohan Singh is different from that of Renu Mittal because he is an accidental prime minister, no doubt. But at the same time, there were certain, issues with the government and with the NSCAC, National Advisory Council and others, because Dr. Manmohan Singh offered to resign when this nuclear bill 123 was now about to fall. But at the threat of that, he should not give the top threat. Second thing, now whether it's a personal one, whether I should quote it on national media or not, Ahmed Patel, after meeting Dr. Manmohan Singh, told me in Prime Minister's residence that persons like Tehseen Poonawalla and others, Shahzad Poonawalla, should be encouraged in the Congress Working Committee and Congress spokespersons. Such was the idea of Dr. Manmohan Singh. But now, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi did not use the uses of Poonawallas. That is why one Poonawalla went to BJP, another one is staying with Congress. So therefore, this youngster should be involved. Okay. That's what Manmohan Singh decided. But unfortunately, Congress did not pay heed to them. Second, whenever Dr. Manmohan Singh was wanting to go after he demitted office as Prime Minister, he took a taxi to go home. You remember?
Oh, yes.
Such a very humble
and his red Maruti. We've read stories about that red Maruti, and he was very touchy about being on that red Maruti. NV Subhash, just allow me another few minutes. Renuji, I know you want to come in back, but Tehseen, to you.
I met ex-Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh a number of times. The first time when I went to meet the Prime Minister, I was new on television, and as Raj Gopalan ji was talking about the nuclear deal. Now, you must remember, and your viewers of Times Now must remember, India was not a signatory to the NPT, and the NSG was therefore opposing the nuclear supply group of nuclear thing. Cut to, I asked the Prime Minister, is it worth sticking the government? I asked the Prime Minister, young kid asking the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister told me, and I quote him, He says India needs to grow at 8 to 10% over the next 2 decades to end poverty. The only way to grow is for industries to grow, and for industries require power, which means we require nuclear power. I won't go into more details. I met the Prime Minister in 2013 when the Right to Food Act was passed, the Food Security Act. Again, an opportunity to speak to the late Prime Minister. He explained, and he said, and I'm quoting him, he said, India has food, India has hungry people, India has poor people. The food must reach the hungry people no matter what the cost. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's legacy, I think we'll speak a lot about his right-based legacy, the right to information, right to education, etc. I think one thing that we should all speak about is the geopolitics. Under Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and the UP era, Bhutan, Nepal and Maldives in our neighborhood. All three became democratic. India assisted that. Nepal, the Maoists came into mainstream. Sheikh Hasina started acting on Ulfa. And the most important thing was the idea of Quad was born in 2007 when Shinzo Abe, whose also had great relationship with Prime Minister Modi, is no longer with us, actually came to India and the idea of Quad was formed. That was Dr. Manmohan Singh. And I agree with Milind and Raja Gopalan ji. We should celebrate this man, the great son of India.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Subhash ji, apologies, I kept you waiting for so long, sir, because, there is that entire anxiety today also in the country, to find how will we honor the legacy of a man who today was, I think, far ahead of his time, who in spite of any other opposition, any other charges, still continued to deliver. He was, an Aam Aadmi's prime minister, as people have been saying.
Exactly. This point of time, we pay, the tributes to the great leader, Dr. Manmohan Singh, as well as the condolences to his family members and admirers on that. And Dr. Manmohan Singh has been picked up by late, my grandfather, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao. And there was so much of family bonding with Dr. Manmohan Singh and Narasimha Rao ji, because we have been seeing as a kids that both used to sit and talk for hours together when they are not in power. And both leaders, they wanted to do something good for the country apart from the political affiliation, family affiliation, and the party affiliation. Let me tell you one or two incidents where he has become, as he himself has said, that he has become accidental finance minister as well as the prime minister. We never knew that he will become the finance minister of the country, but he had so much in by heart that so much has to be done for this country when there is so much of a difficult situation in 1991 to 1996. And whenever the economic liberalization or new policies or foreign direct investments, just investments have been put in the table and in the parliament, there was so much turbulent times where Dr. Manmohan Singh has to face within their own party. And as a Prime Minister, Narasimha Rao ji has supported, motivated, and then gave assurance to go further ahead of that. And he never expected that he will become the Prime Minister of this country. But when he has become the Prime Minister of the country, again, he had so much of turbulences in UPA 1 and UPA 2, where his own party members have involved in a lot of scams, which has really made defamed by the political part, by the Congress party leaders and UPA 1 and UPA 2 participants, where he has to face so much of embarrassment in front of opposition leaders and in front of the world also.
Yes.
And as you said in the the beginning, this is a time where we pay the tributes and then the condolences. But the Congress party has deliberately defamed him, insulted in him, both Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh. And the famous tearing of the audience, the ordinance of Rahul Gandhi in front of the media, where Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, that has really put the nation shame on that. And we feel very, very saddened that both the tallest leaders of the Congress party, Mr. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh, have to face so much of insults within his own party. But apart from that, today we all support his
absolutely. We are here to honor his legacy, to remember his lives and times. Subhashji, only for want of time, but I'm thanking Renu Mittal and all gentlemen for joining us, and we'll continue, remember, to bring to you more interesting anecdotes of the lives and times of Dr. Manmohan Singh. May he travel well. On the other side, back with more.